Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Last time, we talked with Hraesvelgr, and he turned us down. As predicted, Iceheart's faith in the worm was misplaced, which leaves us with but one recourse. You know I have a right of it, Warrior of Light. Hraesvelgr was every bit as awe-inspiring as I had imagined. His voice fairly dripped with power. The will behind his words so undeniable that it transcended my ignorance of a dragon's tongue. 'Tis but a pity that I misliked what he said. Yeah, this really could have gone better. So far did we travel, even unto the very heavens themselves, only to be dismissed like unruly children. And far from mitigating this humiliation, the hidden truths we have learned serve only to prove that our grand mission of peace was destined to fail from the first. Nothing will deter Nidhogg from his course. And now?
Well, what do you propose we do now? I, for one, am intent on continuing to the east.
What is there to be found in the east?
Nidhogg's lair, the Airy, is said to lie in that direction. And the eye tells me he is near.
You cannot still mean to slay him.
You cannot still mean to stop me. I have been true to my word, and aided you in this fool's errand with Hraesvelgr. But your efforts at parley have come to naught, Lady Iceheart. I would see Ishgard saved, and for that, Nidhogg must die.
With the tale of our ancestors' vile betrayal yet ringing in your ears, you speak of continuing this war?
What choice does he have? Die? What choice is there, really?
Nay, lady. I would but pierce its vengeful heart. When Nidhogg dies, this war shall die with him.
A moment, Estinien. You yourself spoke of the Great Worm's strength, that you believed him powerful enough to raise your city to the ground. How then are we few to challenge him? Even behind the stout walls of Ishgard, with an army of knights manning the defenses, our victory would be hard won. Yet you propose to contend with the beast in his own lair.
In close combat, this will afford us an advantage. And with two Azure Dragoons working in unison, who can say what might be possible? But such speculation is meaningless if we cannot even find the worm. Our first task must be to seek out Nidhogg's lair.
The story of this nation grows bloodier by the moment. Must death always be answered with more of the same?
Such is the way of things, I fear. I shall consider it a miracle if mine armor is not stained crimson ere this conflict is ended.
That I should be blinded by my own lies. Everything I believed, everything I thought I was, gone. All gone.
Leave her. Your words will not reach her now. And we have not the time to wait for her to gather up the pieces of her shattered faith.
Note how Estinien said 2 Azure Dragoons. This is a special line only when you have the Dragoon job, and because doing the Dragoon job, you become an Azure Dragoon, like him. What false god is this Shiva? What manner of phantom have I welcomed into my heart? Okay. Let's leave her for now. I wonder, Hraesvelgr spoke of the dragon summoning a primal once at the deception of the Ascians. You think that's Bahamut? Ow. That's bad, very bad. Door? No. Not a weird one, at least. Moon-eyed Moogle. Whatever can be taking us so long, Kupo? My replacement should have been here already, but I don't see her anywhere. I'm so hungry. I waited till she went home on account of those rebels and Tulians were flapping about. If you slay 4 of them, that should secure a safe path, giving my replacement no excuse. Please, my stomach begs you, Kupo. Thank you. Now that the Tulihans are out of the way, it's only a matter of time before my replacement gets here. I'm about to pass out from hunger, so I think I'll go ahead. What could possibly go wrong? Goodbye. A lot could go wrong, buddy. Estinien, pray tell me I'm wrong. Why, what are you seeing, Alphino?
Is that it?
Aye, that would be the Airy. I feel Nidhogg's presence through the eye, his caustic hatred gnawing at my soul. 'Twould seem the death of his consort has put him on guard. Mark how he wards his lair with tempestuous winds.
A similar barrier once barred our entrance to the primal Garuda's domain, until we discovered the means by which it could be penetrated. Mayhap it is time we called upon Master Garland. It will be just like the good old days, no?
I hope it will be that easy. A force of sufficient power to break through a primal's defenses might conceivably grant us access to the Airy. And I can offer no better solution. Pray, consult this engineer friend of yours. Very well, on the condition that you swear not to lure Nidhogg from his lair in our absence. And steal all of the glory for myself, you mean? Nay, I'm not so selfish as that. Contact me by Link Pearl when your preparations are complete, and we shall set forth from Ishgard together. I suggest we wander back and Saint Renette's forum, Serenia. From what I gleaned from the Holy See's decidedly ambitious airship project, Sid will still be in Ishgard. Okay, let's meet Sid. So, when last you saw Master Garland, he was advising the Ishgardians on their ailing airship, correct? In that case, he might still be at Camp Cloudtop. Failing that, we could try the airship landing, or maybe even a Skyscreen manufactory. But let us not waste time searching aimlessly. Someone in the city is sure to know where to find him. The question is who? Sir Emmerich would seem the obvious choice, but there's no guarantee he will be able to grant us an audience at short notice. Ah, I have it. Count Edmund's younger son prides himself on knowing all the Holy See's juiciest rumors. Let us return to the manor and see if Lord Emmanalain is about. Okay, let's ask Lord Emmanalain. Can you let me in? Thank you. Ah, the hero returns. How goes the fight, old girl? Well, I trust... In search of a Sid Garland, you say? Say no more. The tavern are full of talk, and the name of said silver-haired genius has cropped up more than most. I hear he's been tasked with getting the monstrous airship the Holy See commissioned to actually fly. It would seem the project has been plagued with mishaps from the first. In any case, Garland Ironworks employees are known to frequent the airship landing, and I wager their master does too. The airship landing. Yes, I thought as much. Come, Serenia, we must find Sid and trouble him for his expert opinion. Good, but the young lord knows it. Hey, you furry. Serenia, Elfino, how fare you both? Not terribly well judging by your faces. Greetings, Master Garland. I'm sure it will come as little surprise when I tell you we have need of a favor. Another wind barrier, and you say it was conjured by Nidhogg? The Enterprise will certainly take you where you need to go, but she would not fare well against dragons. She's agile for a ship her size, but not that agile. The Ravanians would fly wings around her. And if they took it to their heads to incinerate rigging, there would be precious little we could do to avoid them. But there must be something we can do, some manner of weapon we could employ. Estinien stands vigil at the edge of the churning mists, but we do not know how much longer. Alright, I didn't say it was impossible. I said it was impossible for the Enterprise. We need a smaller boat. Biggs, Wedge, it's time we gave that new toy of yours a proper field test. It's probably best if I let the lads show you. Come on, the manufacturer is not far. Yes, it is. It is literally at the other end of a city. Our little project's just inside. Oh, we are going to like this one.
Feast your eyes upon our latest and greatest feat of engineering. We call it a mana cutter.
After you put down Gaius, Wedge and me struck out on our own for a bit, and started work on the successor to the tiny Bronco.
Impressive little thing, isn't she? My talent for ship design has plainly rubbed off on them. They've adapted the principles of corrupted crystal technology and constructed a mechanism which converts ether from its surroundings into elemental wind. Said wind is then harnessed by the specially engineered sails, providing the craft with propulsion and lift. All in all, a most elegant solution. I'm actually a little upset that I didn't think of it myself.
The design does, however, come with one small flaw.
The energy conversion ratio is bloody awful. To generate enough power to get you off the ground, you need to be in an area awash with predominantly wind-aspected ether.
In other words, there are a few places you can fly, lots of places you can't.
The new Ishgardian airship hasn't left the boys much time for tinkering. meaning it may be a while before this particular project takes off. If you'll forgive the pun.
No, unforgivable. Tataru?
Tataru, what's happened?
I've been looking all over for you. There's been word from Aldar. It's about Her Grace, the Sultana.
What?
It seems you're required elsewhere. Leave the Mana Cutter with us. We'll see that she's airworthy and suitably equipped to slice through those winds. You, meanwhile, should concentrate on providing Rauban and the Sultana whatever help they need.
Always doing five things at once. Okay. That's it to be for the main story part of this episode. We continue this next time, and I still have something else I want to show off, just to stretch the episode. Namely, down there is a quest. I believe I can fly. But at the Chocobo stables. Pardon me for saying so, friend, but you stink. Not an unpleasant stink, mind, rather, you stink of Chocobo, a distinct scent for which I must confess a certain fondness. Not the musky aroma of a wild bird, nor the common scent of a rental Chocobo that has carried thousands, no. You also stink singular and true. Would it be correct to surmise that you are the proud owner of your very own bird? Of course I am. As a Chocobo trainer, I practically sleep in these stables. Gives me a nose for this sort of thing, if you catch my drift. But enough about me. You must tell me about your faithful steed. His name is Arthur, blah 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 blah. Arthur, is it? A fine name, that. And issued by a grand company, you say? I know the grand companies of Eorzea to have many fine birds in their ranks, but if all you say is true, I dare say your bird is a particular stalwart specimen. What's this? Your bird has even been trained in the Fortem's methodology? I knew I detected a cultured aroma in that scent. I've not sniffed such a remarkable bird in 20 years. Such singular strength and intellect. Why, it would not surprise me if your bird could learn to fly. Oh, I can assure you this is not jest. While it's true that only Chocobos black of feather are natural-born flyers, there are records of other breeds that have been trained to take to the skies. I can understand your skepticism, but to a student of Chocobo breeding such as myself, this is little surprise. After all, the flyers and the flightless possess common ancestry. The grounded birds do not lack the physical capacity, but they have merely forgotten how, for lack of necessity. I dare say that if any Chocobo could be trained to take to the heavens like his feathered forefathers, it's your Arthur. What say you, friend? My brother Porfer is a Chocobo trainer and tail feather, and something of an expert in these training methods. Bring your bird to him, and I tell you, friend, the sky is the limit. Okay, so I can teach my company Chocobo to fly. There he is. Oh, you must be one unknown spoke of. Yes, there's no mistaking it. That's the scent of a remarkable bird. A bird who's destined for the heavens. But why are you thinking when we could be flying. Yes, let us begin the training without further ado. The process of teaching a flightless chocobo to soar involves awakening the instinct of its flying forebears that lie dormant within. The most efficient way to do so is to allow it to experience the life of a wild bird. Take the chocobos that run free throughout the chocobo forest. These birds subsist on wild fruits and berries, but to secure sustenance they must fight for their lives against hordes of vicious insects. Yes, if Arthur were to experience the thrill and fear of staring down the bee clouds of Travania, it might not be long before the blood of a flyer stirs within those veins. Okay, bee clouds. Oh, come on. I see, the training goes well. Excellent. In the chocobo forest, your bird experienced the thrill of battle and heard with its own ears the buzzing of those infernal bees. Many scholars posit that the sound plays an important role in awakening the dormant abilities of a flightless bird. Most chocobos we export are captured not long after they leave the nest. Likely your bird is hearing these sounds for the first time in its life. Now, for the next stage in training, your chocobo must feel the same wind as its ancestors once did. And yet, this wind blows in a place that the average bird would be hard-pressed to reach. Fortunately, the chocobos have a keen sense of smell, and that is where you come in, friend. Travel to the highest point near Tailfeather and Falcon's Nest. Let the winds embrace you and let your bird take in the scent. Surely this will go far to awaken the memories of Arthur's high-flying forebears. Okay. It's up there in the northeast. More north and east, but there is a strange tower ruin and you have to climb to the top of the tower. And there's the destination. The crisp wind of the Duranian forelands envelop you. What memories will they awaken within Arthur? And there's another point in the Arthur's Western Highlands, but I don't show that part of. It's also the same message, and I can smell the winds upon you, friend. I have no doubt that the same can be said of your faithful Arthur. With this, your bird's training is complete. The final stage of the training is yours. You need to learn to read the winds that you might lead your chocobo safely and surely upon them. To read the winds, you must be attuned to the currents of ether. Yes, read them well, send your bird soaring high into the heavens. Yeah. That does not absolve you of ether current gathering in the future. Be proud of Arthur, friend, for only the bravest and brightest of birds succeed in learning to fly. I gladly give you this as a reward for both of you. Be well, and may we meet again in the skies above. This is a headgear for a chocobo, like a pilot's hat, you know. And Arthur can now fly. Funnily enough, this also teaches all other mounts to fly. And that is rather funny when you have a, I don't know, a Gobu suddenly starting to float or something like that. Which just makes no sense whatsoever, but okay, I end this episode here finally. Until next time, when we, yeah, hopefully save Nanamo. I'm Mace, and don't get lost.